Tonight on WVUA 23 News at 5, family and friends mourn the loss of University of Alabama student Allie Brody. Also, safety on campus is a concern on game days for student nightlife. We have tips on staying safe and
TV shows, movies, and Wendy Williams. We have everything entertainment. WVUA 23 News at 5 is next.
This is WVUA 23 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Malika Nation. The University of Alabama community is mourning one of its own. In the past few months, 7 college students died while attending classes at the capstone. Reporter Mitch Bailey attended the vigil for one student who died following an accident involving a fun game of soccer. He joins us live with how her friends are honoring her. Mitch?
Malika, just a few days after freshman Allie Brody died, friends and faculty wanted to make sure her family knew she would not be forgotten.
The emotional scene at Denny Chimes Wednesday is not what you normally see at the capstone. This night, it's a way to help others heal as they mourn UA freshman Allie Brody.
Unfortunately, Allie passed away on Saturday, October 28th after complications from an intracranial hemorrhage. Allie was injured in a soccer game about 3 weeks ago and suffered the brain hemorrhage and unfortunately passed away.
That soccer game changed more than just Allie's life. After a ball hit her in the head, doctors treated her for a concussion and her symptoms turned fatal. What doctors didn't know was she was born with a pre-existing condition which caused her brainstem to bleed.
Allie just lit up the room as soon as she walked in. Allie was famous for giving her Allie hugs, for being super encouraging to her sisters, to her family.
I'm always going to remember how bright she was, how her smile just lit up a room when she walked in. She was incredible.
Allie was a member of Alpha Delta Chi. The sorority and its other members are still coping with the death of a sister.
So this has just been heartbreaking and devastating for our entire sorority.
While friends will remember Allie and her smile for years to come, they also plan to make sure the memory of their friend from California lives on.
Celebrating the time she had with us, because Allie loved AD Chi, she loved Alabama, and she left a mark here. She will never be forgotten by any of us.
A GoFundMe page started in Allie's honor has raised more than $30,000. The university plans to hold another memorial service this week for students who died earlier this year. Live in the studio, I'm Mitch Bailey.
Where did Mitch go? That was a good package. Some students are questioning their safety after recent incidents on the university strip. With so many football games kicking off late, big crowds are hanging out until the wee hours of the morning near campus. Reporter Kayla Hamlet joins us now live with more on how campus police are trying to keep students safe. Kayla?
That is right, Malika. UAPD puts out a campus safety report every year. According to the 2016 report, there were 103 arrests made on campus. 3 of those were for people who broke the law related to weapons. Students say they are aware of their surroundings and understand that with big crowds come a large responsibility. That is right, Malika. UAPD puts out a campus safety report every year. According to the 2016 report, there were 103 arrests made on campus. 3 of those were for people who broke the law related to weapons. Students say they are aware of their surroundings and understand that with big crowds come personal responsibility. A shooting on the strip 2 weekends in a row, from the Tennessee game to the LSU game, has prompted city officials to plan security measures during and after big games. Thousands of fans gather on the strip that is home to bars and restaurants on UA home game days. That was no exception to the Tennessee game last Saturday night, going into early Sunday morning when a gunman chased down another man and shot him in front of a crowded bar.
My friend, and we heard the shots go down, and whenever that happened, we kind of drove away and kind of collected ourselves. And after that, we just kind of heard through group meets and Facebook and everything what was going on.
We have everybody out there that we got.
An accusation plan will soon be put into effect. Live in the newsroom, I'm Kayla Hamlet.
A Sunday morning service turned into a tragedy for a small church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Devin Kelly opened fire into a First Baptist church on Sunday in the small town right outside of San Antonio. 26 people were killed and several others wounded. After the shooting, Kelly jumped in his truck, driving off before he crashed. Police found him dead moments later. Investigators are trying to piece together the motive behind the shooting. Here's the latest on the New York terrorist attack that happened on Halloween. A note was found near the truck that was used during the terrorist attack. The note claimed the attack was made in the name of ISIS. Law enforcement identified the suspect as Saifullah from Uzbekistan in Central Asia. He has been living in the U.S. since 2010. Sources say the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force is taking over the lead of the investigation. Donald Trump experienced a blackout on Twitter. This is what people saw for 11 minutes when they searched @RealDonaldTrump. The president is known for being vocal on social media. His response to the blackout, a rogue employee had taken it down. It was that employee's last day on the job. President Donald Trump and the Republican Party has released a 9-page tax plan. What does that mean for Americans? Trump promised the American population tax cuts in his run for office. 0% for Americans making less than $24,000 a year is a big drop. Americans will have 3 tax rates, 35, 25, and 12%. However, the wealthy will get a tax cut from 39.6% to 35%. Congress will have to figure out where the middle class will stand. The Tuscaloosa County Schools Board approved a new middle school for Northport. The board voted to build the new school near Tuscaloosa County High. The new middle school will serve students from places and Flatwoods. However, the budget for construction is set at $24 million. Northport officials are still concerned about Northport's growth and traffic.
They've expressed their concerns on 2 different occasions with the county board, and we want to give them a chance to give us their thoughts and their feelings on the future development of the 5th and 6th grade school.
The school board will meet again to follow up on construction plans. Get it while you can. Sears is starting their holiday blowout sale early, and here's why. Sears at University Mall will be closing its doors in 2018. It's one of 63 Sears locations that will be closing at the beginning of the new year. 400 Sears and Kmart stores have already closed this year due to low sales. With companies such as Amazon, Walmart, and Home Depot, customers are bypassing the once popular Sears for their home needs. Still ahead, to walk to help family and friends cope with Alzheimer's. Plus, Chi Omega Sorority is serving up breakfast to make a child's wish come true. Lindsay, how are those pancakes?
Delicious and sticky. I'll tell you a little bit more after the break.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation is on a mission year-round to make dreams come true for children who have a life-threatening medical condition. Reporter Lindsay Alexander is live now with more on how one of the University of Alabama sororities helped make that happen for one young man. Lindsay?
That's right, Malika. When it comes to making a difference, it doesn't take much for one local sorority to answer to the call to help year after year in the form of pancakes.
We got to serve everybody pancakes, and people get lots and lots of pancakes, and I get to be a pancake.
The long-standing tradition of bacon, sausage, and pancakes is just one reason people packed into the Chi Omega sorority house the morning of the LSU-Alabama football game. The worthy cause brought together both sides of the fierce rivalry.
My favorite part about the pancake breakfast was seeing all the support that everyone has for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation is Chi Omega's national philanthropy. The foundation's goal is to grant wishes to young children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Many are being fed today to help support a great cause, making a wish for a young boy named Kane.
Kane is a native of Tuscaloosa, and his wish is to go to Legoland and Universal. So as Chios, we are hosting a wish party, and it's Harry Potter themed, so all of our chapter members are super excited to be having a party and to basically be transforming Chio into Hogwarts.
Each donation from the breakfast will fund Kane and his family's trip to Orlando. Their trip is scheduled for November 13th through the 17th, and Kane's wish party is set for November 11th. 5,000 pancakes are now history, and over $30,000 will go towards Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's enough reason to celebrate, putting sticky smiles on faces of all ages.
Breakfast, but are very thankful for the opportunity. Make-A-Wish wants to remind everyone this holiday season that every wish experience begins with a referral. Back to you, Malika.
The annual End Alzheimer's Walk happened Saturday and is the largest fundraiser for the Alzheimer's Association. Around 200 people showed up for that cause that raised funds for Alzheimer's. The garden has flowers that represents the connection walkers have with the disease. Purple says, I lost someone. Yellow says, I care for someone with the disease. Orange says, I support the cause. And blue says, I have Alzheimer's. But there's one color the association hopes will replace the others.
We also have one single white flower, which is for the first survivor, which currently we do not have yet, but that's what we're all working towards, is that first survivor of Alzheimer's, where we can come together and say, we have eliminated this illness and we have the first survivor, and our goal is to replace all the colors with the white flowers.
Funds raised will go to research, support, and care. If you would like to donate, visit www.act.alz.org/West Alabama. Coming up, a local performing artist is raising money to help families in Florida.
And we've got all your entertainment stories, from movies to TV shows to sports to talk shows. All of this and more after the break. Good evening, I'm Austin Kelly. Thanks for joining us. Topping tonight's entertainment segment is what we've all been talking about, and that's Wendy Williams feigning live on her show. The talk show host was right in the middle of her annual How You Doin' Halloween costume contest when she started slurring her words and swaying back and forth before finally hitting the ground. Williams told her audience that she got overheated, but she finished the show like a champ. And Hakuna Matata. It means no worries, and we aren't worried at all about how Disney's new remake of The Lion King is going to be because of who they cast as the stars. Last week, singer-actress Beyoncé confirmed that she is going to play the role of Nala in one of Disney's classics alongside some other well-known faces such as Seth Rogen, Donald Glover, and James Earl Jones. The film is set to hit theaters July 19th, 2019. And speaking of theaters, the 8th Jigsaw movie made its way into theaters, lining up perfectly with Halloween. Despite the 32% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie grossed almost $1.6 million opening night. The movie takes place in a small town where a series of murders have local police looking for the ghost of a dead man who has started a new game. Is the original Jigsaw killer still alive, or is this a trap set by a killer with designs of their own? Find out for yourself. The movie is out in theaters now. And ladies, he is back. Chris Hemsworth once again stars in the newly released Thor movie. With a 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, Thor smashed its way into the box office with over $100 million opening weekend. In this movie, Thor is imprisoned on the other side of the universe and has to race back in time to save his homeland. Now, I won't spoil too much of the movie, but don't be surprised if there's an appearance of a big green man that calls himself the Hulk. Now, switching over to television shows, there are two shows on right now that has everyone still talking about: Stranger Things and The Good Doctor. Netflix's original show, Stranger Things, has just come out with its second season, and people are freaking out over it. Familiar faces such as Dustin, Nancy, and Lucas, but there are also a few new faces in this season, and maybe even a few surprise faces too. The show continues after the mystery of a missing boy, supernatural forces, and government experiments start to get deeper. Also on everyone's watch list is ABC's The Good Doctor. In this television drama, Sean Murphy, a boy suffering from autism, joins a prestigious surgical unit. He's unable to personally connect with the people around him, so he uses his extraordinary medical gifts to save lives and challenge his colleagues. And the Houston Astros won the World Series, but one of the players won something else. Astros infielder Carlos Correa dropped down on one knee after winning one ring and proposed with another. Correa asked his girlfriend Daniela Rodriguez to, quote, make him the happiest man in the world and marry him. The 21-year-old former Miss Texas immediately said yes and gave her new fiancé a kiss. Well, one day I'll be able to afford a ring that big, but not anytime soon. So that's it for your entertainment segment. Live in the studio, I'm Austin Kelly.
When it comes to local talent around West Alabama, it's not hard to find a wealth of it. Reporter Anne-Marie Wester joins us now to introduce you to a local talent who is asking for others to help out. Anne-Marie?
When Hurricane Irma hit, evident of making landfall in Florida last month, a singer and songwriter, Bailey Coates, decided it was time for her to pay attention. Once the UA junior saw all the damage, she decided to start using her talents to make a difference. Coates held a concert Tuesday night to raise money for the American Red Cross. Coates is from Birmingham, Alabama, and she's always loved performing and knew that's what she wanted to do. Before moving to the Magic City, Bailey lived in Florida for 7 years. So when the hurricane hit in September, she knew she wanted to do something to help.
We were devastated and hit by the hurricane. And so I went, oh my gosh, like, what can we do to help? And so the Red Cross is such an amazing organization that reaches out to help with hurricane relief and also many other projects as well. But I was like, okay, let's do this concert, but let's raise money to help these people that I know and that I care about, and people also who just need something.
The benefit concert raised over $2,000 to benefit people affected by the recent hurricanes. You can still donate by going to her website, baileycoates.com, and clicking donate. Back to you, Malika.
Fans are buckling up and having fun cheering on Alabama basketball. Find out how the men's and women's teams are doing on the court. And their home base isn't in Tuscaloosa, but that doesn't stop the Frozen Tide from making sure they are ready when they hit the ice. We'll show you how the club is making a name for themselves this season. College basketball is here. The University of Alabama's men and women's team won their exhibition games at the beginning of the month. Marcel Peters is here to tell us how they are doing so far in the regular season.
That's right, Malika. On Monday, the men's team won their exhibition game against Alabama Huntsville 74-65, and the women's team beat Antelope Valley by 55 points with a final score of 108-53. On Friday, freshman forward Araya Copeland scored 16 points against Alabama A&M in Tuscaloosa, finished with a win in her first official game of the season. The Tide won with a final score of 90-32, and on Monday night, the women's team beat Utah 65-60. Over on the men's team, there was some disappointment that freshman point guard Colin Sexton had to sit out the exhibition and season opener. On Thursday, UA Director of Athletics Greg Byrne announced the top 10 recruit from Georgia will play in Alabama's home opener against the Lipscomb Bisons on Tuesday night. Sexton's delay in play is suspected to be part of the ongoing FBI college basketball investigations. In a press conference after the exhibition game, Coach Avery Johnson said Sexton was disappointed he didn't play, but he handled the news in a first-class manner.
And obviously he was a little bit disappointed, but he said, okay, Coach, I'll go back to my dorm and get some clothes, and I'll get on the bench and cheer on the guys. And that's what type of kid he is, because he's a kid of strong character.
The open spot gave freshman shooting guard John Petty a chance to show off his skills in the season opener. On Friday, the men's team finished with an 82-70 point win. Petty scored 14 points against Memphis in Annapolis, Maryland. The women's team will play against Jacksonville University in Tuscaloosa on Thursday, and the men's team will face off against against Lipscomb Bisons at 7 p.m. in the Coleman Coliseum tonight. It is unclear if Sexton will play.
The top 4 teams in the 2017 playoff rankings have been announced. The teams are at 1, the Georgia Bulldogs, at number 2, the Alabama Crimson Tide, and at number 3, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. At number 4, the Clemson Tigers. Former Tide players dominated in this afternoon in the NFL, starting with Titans running back Derrick Henry, who had a 1-yard touchdown on the day. Up next, the North Carolina Falcons wide receiver Julio Jones. He had 118 yards receiving on 6 catches on the day. The Pro Bowl receiver dropped a wide-open 39 pass in the end zone. The University of Alabama is known for its outstanding sports teams, but some teams feel like they are forgotten. Reporter Leah Doolin shows us how the Capstone's club hockey team is working on the reputation. Leah?
That's right, Malika. These students pay to play the sport they love, and they don't even have a rink in Tuscaloosa to practice. But that doesn't stop them from making sure they give the fans something to cheer about.
That's the sound of the Alabama's Frozen Tide. The university's club hockey team draws in players from all over the country.
A degree from a school as well known as Alabama, as well as playing hockey down here were the 2 things that really sold me.
UA does not have a rink facility on campus. When players aren't at practice, the only extra shooting they can get is in their backyards. Players have to drive an hour from campus to their home rink in Pelham for practice and games.
I think the biggest difficulty is with the rink being up in Pelham. I mean, we definitely put in a lot more time than I think many other sports do, and many people would think that we put in.
Defenseman Paul Wise believes the rink's location impacts the team's fan base and attendance for the games.
Students don't know much about the hockey team, mostly because the rink is so far away and there's not really great transportation to actually get to games.
Even though players have a tough commute almost every day and no on-campus facility, they believe they work as hard as other university programs.
This weekend, 9 hours one way. Next weekend, 14 hours one way. So definitely we do put in a lot of time with travel.
The team will keep practicing on and off the ice throughout their season.
The Frozen Tide's record is currently 7 wins and 1 loss as they head to the Jones Center to play Arkansas this weekend. I'm Leah Doolin reporting. Back to you, Malika.
The Houston Astros are the 2017 World Series champions. The Astros defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-1 in the final game of the 7-game series. Center fielder George Springer led the Astros with 2 hits and 2 RBIs in the game. He hit 1 home run that gave the Astros a 0 lead. The Astros used multiple pitchers to slow down batters for the Dodgers, giving up only 1 run to the game. This is the first World Series championship in franchise history for the Astros. Halloween is history, but that's not stopping Hershey from keeping sweets on everyone's brain. Coming up, find out what the company's new concoction tastes like and when you can get a bite of it.
And it's not too late to help Alabama beat Auburn off the field. Straight ahead, I'll show you how a few of these can help a good cause and put Alabama over the top.
The Iron Bowl means more than just football at the capstone. It's also when the Crimson Tide competes in the Beat Auburn, Beat Hunger campaign. Reporter Jenna Murphy joins us with more on when and how this rivalry started.
Thanks, Malika. UA students are so passionate about this campaign each year. This friendly part of the rivalry started in 1994 and is still making an impact to help feed the needy. The Crimson Tide football team is rolling with a record of 10-0, and the West Alabama Food Bank is hoping that will motivate more people to beat Auburn in another competition off the field.
From October 1st to November 14th, we collect as much money and food as possible for the West Alabama Food Bank.
Courtney Charlin, president of Beat Auburn, Beat Hunger, says the donations are needed in a bad way.
West Alabama Food Bank has the largest in-need population out of the 8 food banks in the state of Alabama because we have the black belt. Some of our counties sit at 33 and 34% poverty rate, which is the highest in the state. So having all those counties combined really makes our job difficult.
The nonprofit Alabama Possible's latest report shows about 18.5% of people in the state live below the federal poverty line. The West Alabama Food Bank serves 7 different counties, and community support is key when trying to feed more than 300,000 residents where 15% are living in poverty.
So we have plenty of different events and different initiatives going on to really encourage the community and students to get involved with our program.
Since the creation of the campaign Beat Auburn, Beat Hunger, both Alabama and Auburn donated a combination of 5.5 million pounds of food.
Without the help of Beat Auburn, Beat Hunger, we would not be able to do our job and help the people who are hungry.
The Crimson Tide football team is rolling with a record of 10-0, and tomorrow is the last day to donate to the Beat Auburn, Beat Hunger campaign. The West Alabama Food Bank will host the conclusion of the event, where the winner will be announced tomorrow, November 15th at noon. Reporting live in the studio, I'm Jenna Murphy. Back to you, Malika.
Hershey is unveiling a new candy bar, and it's not chocolate. The chocolate giant is introducing a new Hershey Gold caramelized cream candy bar. The sweet and salty treat features caramel with peanut and pretzel chunks. Hershey has not released a new candy bar since 1995. The Hershey Gold will be in stores December 1st, 2017. That's our report for this evening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the latest headlines on WVUA23.com. Have a great night.